At the Uppal Stadium in Hyderabad, there were plenty of runs being scored. There were plenty of boundaries that we saw, and that essentially means that there were plenty of records that were broken as well in the third and final match of the three-match T20I series between India and Bangladesh. It was the Indian team that stamped its authority over the visitors, and they did it in some style. All those records that I just alluded to being broken, well, all of them happening in favor of India. So let me quickly tell you what are those records that I'm talking about. Them, so stay with me as I tell you what are these records that the Indian team have broken, largely all with the bat. First things first, 297 for 6. This is what India managed at the end of 20 overs. This is not only India's highest total ever in this format, but also happens to be the highest score ever by a full member nation in this particular format. Such was the display from the Indian batters on the night in Hyderabad. Up next, the joint highest power play score for India in T20s as well got scored today at the Uppal Stadium. 82 for 1. Most of those runs, in fact, coming from the bat of Sanju Samson, who was really in the mood tonight. Got to his first century as well. In fact, became the first Indian wicketkeeper batter to go ahead and score a century in the game's shortest format. The second fastest ton as well being scored by an Indian batter. The first, of course, came from the bat of Rohit Sharma. He took 35 balls. Sanju Samson on the other side took 40 balls. I'll get to that in just a bit as well. But more records for you. Now, India reached the 100-run mark in just 7.1 overs. This is the fastest that India have ever gotten to the 100-run mark, and it took only 2.4 overs from them to reach to their next 50. So 100 to 150 all done in a space of just 9 overs. Just under 10 overs, in fact. 9.5 you were done with 150 runs. The side breached the 200 run barrier in 14 overs, which is also the side's fastest in the shortest format. So the fastest 100, fastest 150, fastest 200, all being scored by India tonight against Bangladesh. Moving forward, the second fastest Indian to score 100 in T20 internationals, as I just told you, well, it happens to be Sanju Vishwanath Samson. 40 balls is all that he took. Also, the second highest second wicket partnership for India now belongs to Suryakumar Yadav and Sanju Samson. That stands at 173 runs. Such was the batting display from the two of them. And before I wrap up, 47, that's the number of boundaries India scored against Bangladesh. This, by the way, is the record now for the highest boundary count in a T20I innings. No team has scored more boundaries than India in T20 international series. So 47 of those being scored by the Indian team today. So those were all the records that India broke in this historic match that we saw at the Uppal Stadium. And this Indian team continues to just surprise us. We've heard all the talk about, them taking the attack to the opposition. This being a new era in Indian cricket where they're just going to go one way, which is hell for leather. And well, as a result of that, plenty of these records being broken with this Indian team that continues to surprise us. In case you like what we do over here at Sports Today, give us a like and do share this video with your friends and family members. Do subscribe to the channel in case you haven't already done so.